Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for your interest in the Aglow website. My name is Karen. I'm working at the Montserrat Volcano Observatory, and I'm also part of the Disaster Past project, which is basically the project that put together the website. So I'm going to give you a quick introduction about this project and about the team behind the scenes. And then I will hand over to Martin, who will take you through a guided tour of the website. So the idea behind the Disaster Past project is to look at the artistic response of a population to a natural disaster, and in particular in this case to a volcanic eruption, and to see how the arts have helped them to cope, and how we can use the arts as well to prevent or at least to reduce further volcanic risk. So to introduce quickly the team behind the Disaster Past project and the Aglow website, here you can see Professor Jenny Barclay, who's a volcanologist and interested in both physical and social impact of volcanoes. Dr. Wendy McMahon, who's a researcher in literature and who looked at the output following basically an eruption, and Dr. Teresa Armiros, who's an historian and social scientist and in particular interested in reducing volcanic risk and living with a volcano. But there are also other collaborators, the main one being Professor Richie Robertson, who's a volcanologist at the Seismic Research Center at Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Martin Mangler, who's a volcanologist and also interested in using arts and alternative ways to communicate volcanic risk, James Christie, who's a geologist working on Lars in Montserrat and who's also interested in outreach, Output Arts, who created the interactive part of the Aglow exhibit, which I will show you some pictures later, and so myself at the Montserrat Volcano Observatory. As you can see, there are also a lot of institutions that participated, not only in the UK, such as the Red Cross or the Government of Montserrat office in London, but also in Montserrat. And for instance, that includes the National Trust, the Montserrat Red Cross, the DMCA, MAC, and the Tourism Division. But beside all of these principal collaborators and all of these institutions, a lot of people as well in Montserrat and within the UK diaspora helped to make this project really a success. So the idea behind the Disaster Past project came following the results from two other projects. The Striva project, which was led by Professor Jenny Barclay in Montserrat and St. Vincent, and the Explosive Transformations project, which was led by Dr. Wendy McMahon in St. Vincent. And really what these two projects emphasize was that the artistic outputs really had a strong impact on dealing with the eruptions, and so the Disaster Past project really focused on this and trying to find a way of using all these arts to increase the resilience. So who and where do we engage? Well, first of all, on Montserrat. So as I was saying earlier, the idea was to give a tangible object to the island for being used as a communication tool. So we built together with a lot of people on island the Aglow exhibit. It was shown at the Montserrat Secondary School, at the Aliogana Festival of the World, at the National Museum, at the National Trust. And here you can see, for instance, students engaging with what is printed on the panels, that is scientific panels, but also excerpts of interviews and excerpts of poems. We also doing this website launch today. And during the 25th anniversary of the eruption, the exhibit will be shown at the National Trust. So in the UK, the exhibit was previewed at the Norwich Science Festival in October 2019, and the next exhibit will be shown as well at the two UK parliamentaries, so to decision makers, and that's unfortunately in abeyance due to first Brexit and now to COVID-19. So of course another aspect of the project is the Aglow website, which is why we are here today. And so the website objectives are to provide a permanent repository for the information and knowledge that we have all gained during this process. A vehicle to celebrate as well the experiences and stories of the community on Montserrat, and a way to share the experiences of those who remain on Montserrat and those who had to leave. And finally, it's we are trying to use it as a way to find a dynamic way to continue the story and the sharing of the experience. So now I'm just going to let Martin take you through the website, and thank you very much for listening to this little presentation. I hope you will enjoy the website and eventually contact us to participate to it. If you want to send your picture or your stories, don't hesitate. Thank you very much.
So again, hello everyone. I'm Martin, and I was involved in the project mostly in curating and structuring the wealth of stories, songs, photos, videos, poems, and all kinds of different materials that we got, that we collected for the physical exhibit, and to put it into a good format for the digital exhibition, basically. So as you type in mountainaglow.com, you will land on this page, and you have two options to get started here. There's the explore bit, which is really the heart of the exhibit. And there's about the project, and I will briefly go there now to show you what's going on there before we will explore all the materials of this exhibition. So about the project really is about, well, this is basically just a written version of everything Karen just told you. We also have a video. Are we planning to show this video? Or are we skipping this maybe, given the internet connection situation?
Yeah, I think we're going to skip it for now. I already posted it. For those who are interested, I posted it on the MVO Facebook page.
Yeah, it's a really nice video that gives a good impression of what we've been doing and what this website is all about. You can also read about it here. There's a picture of Soufriere Hills and the physical exhibit, Mountain Aglow. And here we also have the UK part of the exhibit. Here, a mock-up Soufriere Hills and ash-covered radios and radio and telephone, which then plays interviews with Montserratians. So these are the physical bits that this digital place here is based on. But now let's go straight to the explore section, which, as I said, is the heart of the exhibit, and you will quickly see how much we have going on here. So each of these pictures and headings represent a website within the website that features all these kinds of different materials that we have collected for this project. So that includes scientific information, accounts from Montserratians, poems, songs, etc. So we have about 100 different web pages here. If you want to go through all of them, it will probably take you the best part of an afternoon. We are sure you'll have a great time doing this, but if you don't have that much time, we have given you lots of different opportunities to filter through that content. And because there's so many different ways to filter through, I'm just going to give you a quick tour of how you can do this to get right to what you're most interested in. So we have four main ways to filter the content, which is by theme, by type of material, by the time that the content refers to, and by the place on Montserrat that it again refers to. So going through those now, when we start with themes, so the first 6 themes are very much based on the physical exhibit. Like this volcano-like structures had like 6 panels, 3 on the outside and 3 on the inside, that dealt with these 6 different aspects of the volcanic crisis of Sophia Hills. So I'm going to go straight to the heart of the website, where we have collected all of those stories, songs, etc. So this is the explore section, and you can see that we have a lot of content here. So each of those pictures and each of those headings kind of narrates a different aspect of the story of the volcanic crisis, sometimes more focused on Sophia Hills, the volcano, and its geology and science behind it, sometimes how people monitor it, but also a lot about how people experienced it, how people thought about the volcano before the eruption, what happened during the eruption, and how the island has recovered and flourished since. We have collected especially a lot of material on that to be able to showcase what an amazing place Montserrat is. So in total, we have about 100 cards here, which is quite a lot. And if you have a free afternoon, maybe during these lockdown times, at least here in the UK still, somewhat, you may spend hours to just go through all of those. But if you want to go straight to what you're most interested in, we have made all of those filters here. So we have 4 different main types of filters that you can use to navigate through the website. This is, for once, this is the theme of the content, the type, so songs or poems, the time that the content refers to, and the place that the content refers to. So we have subdivided the island here into different sectors. But let's go through this systematically. So a theme, this is based on the physical exhibits, because if you've seen it now or in real life, you will know that there's 6 panels on this pyramid structure, 3 inside and 3 outside. And each of those has a different topic with respect to the volcano and Montserrat. So with watching the volcano, that is about MVO and people observing and gazing at the volcano in general. We have moving, crossing, and leaving that relates to the evacuations and people having to leave their homes behind and all the physical and emotional strain that it brought with it. Everyday Moments of Life and Laughter is a very positive section on how people coped with things during and after the eruption and how it caused an outpouring of creativity that we want to celebrate on this website. Falling Ash and Stones is based on a lot of stories by people, because many people remember vividly the ash fall and ballistics that were everyday life for way too long for many people. Volcano Island really is about the history of Montserrat, with a special focus on the volcanic crisis that started in 1995, but also showing how Montserrat looks today. Before and after are lots of pictures from landmarks in Montserrat and how they fared before, during, and after the eruption. And these 6 topics are from the physical exhibit, informed by the physical exhibit, with more material added as we made this website. And we have 2 more categories: Voices from Overseas, which is lots and lots of interviews, lots and lots of accounts of people that left the island during the volcanic crisis, and have now spread all over the world. Most of these accounts, in our case, are from the UK, because that's where many of us are based. And timelines, this is the first one I'm going to show you now. This is a very neat way of navigating through the website. So I click timelines here. You see it light up orange And this means now we have filtered out of these 100 cards, the 5 cards that show timelines. So for example, if you want to get an overview of what happened during the volcanic eruption, you can click Sophia Hill's eruption timeline. And that will get you to this timeline here where you can move chronologically through the eruption starting on 18th July 1995. And there's references to other cards that will get you to different places. So in these timelines, you can explore good chunks of the websites in an organized manner. And you can see going through this, there's lots of different aspects here. There's stuff on pyroclastic flows, the science behind it. There's lots of accounts and songs based on the evacuations, etc. Let's say, and you can, just for navigation purposes, if you click back to explore up here, you will get back to where you started and you will keep the filter that you had chosen. So here, for example, another timeline. Here is the volcano in the news. This features lots and lots of content on local news coverage of the volcanic eruption that you can look at and read all of those past newspaper articles. So lots of historical accounts we have as well. Okay, so this is the themes. If we now go to, if you want to get rid of your filters, you can clear all your filters here. Doing this, you will just go back to all the cards that we have. Now let's go to a different kind of filter, the type. So let's say, for example, you're mostly interested in songs. We have collected about 30 songs. It's exactly 30 songs at the moment, but we hope to add some more over time that deal in some way or the other with the eruption and its aftermath. So if I click this, you see again lighting up all these nice little icons with the notes on it to designate all the sites that have songs on it. You can even specify further, say you want songs, but you only want songs that deal with watching the volcano. And if you click both of those filters, then you will get these 5 cards that basically fulfill both of these criteria. So let's have a look. If we go, for example, here to Volcano Bad, you can see an example of the type of websites we have put together. So here we start off with an interview. So I can try to play this now. Let's hope the internet, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm also feeling lucky. So let's try.
Just to have some different alerts. I mean, red alert, amber alert, next stage of the volcano. So there are times you keep thinking about what is going to happen next. So you were a bit uncomfortable, really uncomfortable.
So this is an account of people, how they experience these alert level systems. This is followed by the actual, well, scientific or background behind this alert level system. And many of you might vividly remember this. And then for further contextualization, we now have a song as well that you can click. And again, I'm feeling lucky. I am not receiving any all too bad feedback, so let's try.
I know that a hurricane is thunder, lightning, wind, and rain. I know that when the ground starts to shake, we just call that earthquake. I don't know what's happening, hearing a rumbling. Then I know it's the volcano getting ready to blow. Volcano bad, volcano, volcano bad, 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 bad. Volcano bad, volcano, volcano bad, 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 bad. When you hear the volcano.
All right, as you can see, there's lyrics for all the songs that we have on there, so you can read along if you like. The songs we have always picked because they shed a different light on whichever aspect we are looking at of the volcano at that moment. And finally, on this page as well, we have a poem that deals with, well, the alert level system. So you can see there's so many different ways that people react to the alert level systems, and all of these are kind of represented in these cards. And this is how we try to organize all the materials. You can see at the bottom of each card, there's the "you may also like" bits, and this will lead you to content that might also be interesting for you if you liked this specific card. Okay, so this was an example of a card that we found by filtering for song and watching the volcano. You see, this is still going on here, and this is a good opportunity to show you how else to remove filters. You can see here they are orange and on. If I click the X here now, we can remove the song filter, and now we're back to only the sites that relate to watching the volcano. Another thing you can do is straight on the cards, you can click, for example, if I click on the speaking bubble, we will choose all the cards that are in watching the volcano and have accounts of people, either written or recorded. So this is how you can play around with the filters. So now let's carry on and go, for example, to Volcano Island, because I would like to show you the kind of content we have put together for how the island looks today. So if we look Volcano Island and 2000 plus, you will get to these nice cards that are called The Island Today, that kind of shed a light on how life is today. So if we go, for example, to Montserrat Nice, you can see there's a song by Arrow. You can explore this for yourself. I'm not sure how good the internet connection will translate the songs, but you can get the picture here. Then some photos this year, for example, of the Cujo Head Festival, and more poetry that relates to what a great, that's from Sir Howard Fergus, relating, well, how Montserrat is still a paradise. And more interviews down here. So you can see this is how the cards are ordered, and you can see how much emphasis we put on how the island looks like today. So by doing this, I'm getting rid of those filters again. Okay, oops. Back to explore. Now we have one filter left. That's the place filter. So let's say you're interested in the West Plymouth. You can click either on the west here or on the actual map to click it, and that will give you all the content that relates to Plymouth or the west of the island. And for example, if we look at here, the earthquake swarms 1933 to 37. This is a good example of how we combine science and historical accounts as well. And of course, we have also managed to sneak in a little song here. So here you can see lots of historical accounts, many from the National Archive in the UK, that give you information about the seismic crisis from 1933 to 37. Here's a compilation of earthquakes during 34 and 35, for example. More historical accounts from Frank Parrott, a volcanologist that was on island during the time, who also collected data on the earthquakes, etc. So a lot of these historical accounts are also scattered all over the homepage. And here another song to finish it off, this to round it off, let's say, this website here. Okay, I think this should give you a good idea of how you can use those filters to get to the heart of where you would like to go. So you see we have collected, oh, one thing before I leave the explore section. You can also just simply search here. For example, if you are really keen on seeing all the songs by Zanki and them, then you can just put in Zanki here, and it will give you all the cards where songs by Zanki and them are included. So this is another very straightforward search function. Again, you can clear this using the filters here. Okay, so you can see we have a lot of material, but we don't see this as an endpoint. We would like you to contribute more to this website if you have any stories or just materials that you would like to share. And to do this as easily as possible, at the bottom of each page, you will see this kind of footer here saying share your story. So here you can get in touch with us directly and let us know if you have memories or stories that you would like to share and that you think would be a good addition to the website. If you think so, you can just click contact here. That will lead you to this form here where you can get in touch with us, or you can write us directly here on disasterpast@gmail.com. And then we can discuss if we can use your content and like shape it into a good form to add it to our website. We hope to grow, to make this really something that celebrates Montserrat and Montserratians, and that's something that is not only something for anyone who has internet access, who is interested in Sophia Hills and Montserrat, but especially for the Montserratian community as a repository, as a common memory of this time. So other than the explore section, there's also a possibility to add your story here in the story section. This is essentially just a blog where we can add written accounts of whatever you think might be something that you are keen on sharing. We will add more material as the days pass. Now we have a few ready to go, just so things keep on happening, as if we wouldn't have enough content already on the website. And finally, we have here more from Montserrat. This is just a collection of links that we just started. So this is really just a starting point. So if you have any links that you would like to be on this web page, just get in touch with us, and we will try to put it on here in good time. So we have different categories here that we use to kind of structure different external links, all about Montserrat, of course. And finally, on the credits page here, these are all the people that have helped us with this website. You can have a look through this. But I think this is basically it. I hope that this was comprehensive and gave you a good idea and inspired you to have your own little session of exploring through our collection of materials here. And I'm sure we or I or all of us would be very happy to answer any questions that there might be.
So people are welcome to ask their questions or their comments on the MVO Facebook page below this video. And well, so for now we don't have any questions yet, but I've shown this website to several people in the past, and so several questions are often coming back. The first question is probably for Jenny and Wendy, and it's about how come you thought about combining this scientific aspect and also you know, the more cultural aspects following the eruptions. So Jenny, you want to start?
Yeah, so I think the thing that's really important to us about both the exhibit and the website is that it was an opportunity to share all the information that quite often visiting researchers come and enjoy and benefit from, and actually to have something that can also be shared with people in Montserrat. And I think what Wendy's project really brought to mind is the fact that, yes, of course, there's been lots of really wonderful science that's been done to understand the Soufriere Hills eruption and the challenges it brings to people who live near a volcano. But actually, just as importantly, that response that people have tells a story of how it is to be, how it feels like to experience an eruption. And so the idea was that the science doesn't happen in isolation. And if we were to contribute something or create a repository that would be useful or interesting on Montserrat, we absolutely had to make sure that those cultural aspects were there. I don't know if you want to add to that at all, Wendy.
Only to say that it's just a really good opportunity to showcase Montserratian culture.
You're quite quiet, Wendy.
Sorry, my microphone is broken. So just to reiterate what you've said, Jenny, I just think it's a really good opportunity to show the way that culture and science always interact together, and a way of showcasing that. Yeah,
that's Wendy was making a really useful point about that culture and science always do interact, and also they tell us a lot about the social experiences. And in some ways, what it's done is it's really told us as scientists some of the things that we should really focus on that are important to understand about how volcanoes erupt.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Jenny. The other question that a lot of people have is what about for educators? Because obviously there is a lot of material in this on this website, and that maybe some teachers would like to use either here in Montserrat or abroad even.
Yeah.
And is there any plan to make it more accessible for educators?
Yes, absolutely. So as you know, the physical exhibit, some of the team here at UEA has got these really wonderful little crystals to take you on a journey if you're a younger visitor to the exhibit. And it has those aspects, and we very much want to develop that as well. As Martin has shown, what's been remarkable is the amount of material that people have been willing to share with us. So there's a lot there. So I think something very important we're going to do is try and develop some materials that would help people who are educators to find their way through the website with things that are relevant to them. So we're really, really interested to hear from teachers who might be interested in developing materials or have some ideas about what they think this would be useful for.
Okay, thank you very much. And in terms of like a maybe more practical term, when is the website going to be available to the public? And another question would be, do you intend to make it accessible to people of other languages?
Oh, that's a really interesting question. The website is live now. So if you follow the link that is on the MVO page, it should take you directly there. So we made it live today. So it should be accessible to everybody now. We are going to make adjustments and adaptations. As you know, Karen, we had some discussions with some important groups on Montserrat who contributed material, and we've already made some changes and added some new materials because of those discussions. We'll continue to do that. And of course, the long-term aim, we had some discussions at MVO and with SRC, is that hopefully this will be a website that is very much run from the MVO in the long term. In terms of other languages, that's a really interesting question. I think that these days you can auto-translate websites, but that's something we should definitely think about in the long term.
Okay, is there like anything else you would like to add? Do you know?
So the only thing I would really like to say is just to thank, again, all those people who were so willing to contribute, who shared their ideas with us about the structure for the physical exhibit that we then took into the themes that we have on the website. And just to say that we're always really interested and willing to hear more comments or ideas for how to structure this, so that this repository of information works for the people for whom we intend it.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think we're going to have to stop now. I hope the tour was like interesting anyway for those watching this video, and that you know, you're going to be feel excited about, you know, going and see the website and eventually contribute if you feel like it. And as Jenny was saying, I would just like to thank everybody again on Island who has been helping until now, and within the diaspora, obviously. All right, so thanks again to everybody. If ever you have any questions, please add them to the comments to this video, and we will reply to them as soon as possible. Thank you very much.